Now tonight, House Democrats, they are moving forward, they say, with a wide-ranging gun control package that will put more restrictions on firearms, make it harder for, yes, law-abiding citizens to keep, store, and use their weapons. Now, earlier tonight, Biden doubled down on his latest gun control push. And here with reactions, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, you just addressed the NRA convention. And, you know, you pointed out something that I like to mention quite often is, we have all of these shootings in all of these cities run by liberal Democrats for decades and decades, and they have the strict, very strict gun control laws, and yet the violence keeps happening, but they never talk about those cases. Why is that?
Because they wouldn't come up with factual information that would make their case. That's what's so interesting about what's happening right now in this country, Sean, is that Biden is providing all the wrong answers because he's asking the wrong questions. We should be asking ourselves, what happens when parents don't parent their children? What happens when you have kids growing up in fatherless homes? What happens when you have kids that have mental instability issues and aren't getting treatment and aren't getting help right away, when there's not accountability for making sure there's an adult presence in their lives? So that's really the consistency that we see from case by case by case of these violent situations that we've been experiencing. And the tragedies have to stop, and we have to start having an honest conversation about what the cause is.
You know, it's amazing. So let me get this right. The Department of Agriculture now is saying that if states like yours decide that you're not going to allow trans athletes, for example, people born biologically male, to play in women's sports, that they're going to take away school lunches from kids? That's their plan?
They did. They announced this not too long ago, Sean. It's interesting. South Dakota has passed the strongest bill protecting girls' sports in our state. And the Biden administration has recently come out and told states that if you don't comply with allowing transgenders to compete in girls' sports, we're going to take away food from children in school. And they're talking about federal dollars to feed our children. No, you can't. You can't. You know, I think about this, and I think it's embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing, Sean, that we have to go to another country to get baby formula to feed our babies in this country. Now we have a president that is openly declaring he'll take food off the plates of our children if we don't comply with his extreme policies that create an unfair situation for women in this country. He's attacking women, and he's attacking babies and children. And when is this country going to wake up and see how horrible this president is, and that he's trying to divide us and ruin the republic it is that we've got to grow up and enjoy, that treated everybody equally?
So why is South Dakota, for some reason, I keep reading that your state has been hit harder with the baby formula shortage than any other state? Why is that?
You know, I think it's because we obviously are in the middle of the country. We have challenges with transportation. It costs more to get food to the middle of the country, even though we feed the world here, with agriculture being our #1 industry. You know, I talk about this energy crisis that's going on as well. Here in South Dakota, we have a lot of families that drive 30, 40 miles to go to work every day. They drive 30 and 40 miles to go get their groceries or to go to the doctor. For us, we're an energy consumer, but we're an important part of this country because we grow the food that needs to be put in grocery store shelves all over the world. So, you know, this president's creating a food crisis, an energy crisis, and now he's saying that if we don't comply with his extreme liberal agenda, that he's literally going to make it even worse for families to try to meet their children's needs.
Maybe you can explain to me, every American now is paying, according to Bloomberg, about $5,200 per household because of Biden's inflation. The average person that drives to work every day, they'll pay another $2,000 a year in higher gas prices. We hit a new high yesterday. And it looks like gas prices are headed now to $5 a gallon on average. The question is, you know, maybe you can explain this to me. Why is he going to meet with the Saudis? Why is he begging OPEC? Now, they said they would increase production today after him begging and pleading for months and months. Why is he talking about deals with the Iranian mullahs that want us dead? And why would he make a deal with Venezuela and that dictator murdering thug there when we have more natural resources here in this country and we don't need their oil? I'm thinking they think that we've got to be the dumbest country on earth, because when you include natural gas and oil and coal, we've got more resources than all of these people combined. Why don't we produce our own? How is Mother Earth any better off if we get a barrel of oil in the States, or we get it from Venezuela, or we get it from the Middle East, or we get it from, Iran? How are we better? How does it negatively impact the world, or Mother Earth, if you will, depending on where you drill for the oil?
Sean, you asked a question earlier. You said, how dumb are they? Are they dumb, or do they just not love America? Because I really believe that there's no way somebody could screw up this much. I mean, we've had 40 years of Joe Biden screw-ups, but I don't believe he loves America. These policies keep coming. They're crippling our country. They're hurting our most vulnerable. They're setting us up for failure, and we're going to be chained to our enemies, and they're going to control us because they control our energy supply after he leaves the White House. We're going to be chained to them, and they'll control us because they control our food supply. I'm not questioning his love of America,
but Governor, I don't even think he knows what day of the week it is. I really believe, like, for example, when you look at some of these bizarre religious cults, to deprogram people that believe the most insane things, you might have to work on them for years, and you might not be able to deprogram them. This climate alarmist religious cult, as I call it, that he is an adherent to that, not to what's going on with the American people. That is a scary choice to me, from my point of view.
I've seen more changes. Yeah, I've seen more changes the last few years. Yeah, it's scary how fast it's changing, though, Sean. I'll defend my people in South Dakota. I will.
Good. The free state of South Dakota. Thank you, Governor. Appreciate it.